Hello and welcome to Round 4 Flicks. The best fantasy storylines provide fans of fantasy shows with a kind of escape into an infinite universe packed with magical quest experiences and scenarios that let their imaginations run wild. These 10 fresh fantasy television series of 2023 are packed with fascinating new worlds to explore, from magical journeys to stories that include mythical characters and creatures. Some are fantasy web series that are brand new and were released in 2023, while others are well-known fantasy shows that have fresh seasons. Let's now begin the video. Number 10. The Witcher. It is a fantasy adventure series based on Andrzej Sapkowski's book series of the same name. The third season isn't bad, even though it's not what fans or anybody else was expecting. It is not a compliment to say that each season feels extremely different from the original material. In most circumstances, it should have stayed faithful to the book. However, most general viewers will be satisfied with the show because of its action-packed dark universe, horrifying creatures, and endearing characters. The story of Season 3 centers on Geralt, Ciri, and Yennefer as they escape the princess of Crash's enemies and try to figure out how to protect Ciri from those who are searching for her. They also try to find out the real identity of the magician, who is secretly working for Nilfgaard. But things get serious when they are all divided up and forced to go on separate journeys. Along with a significant fight and its effects on the characters, Season 3 had flaws but was still extremely entertaining. Though it still suffers from some inconsistent pace with regard to the extra stories, The Witcher scale expands in the third season with the inclusion of new events and characters. Henry Cavill's portrayal of Geralt of Rivia and his growing bond with Ciri, which serves as the season's main emotional story, is one of the adaptation's main strengths. Number 9. The Wheel of Time. It is an epic fantasy adventure television series based on Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson's book series of the same name. Although the first season didn't fulfill everyone's expectations, the second season does. The second season story is much more expansive as the main characters split up, giving us the opportunity to watch each character grow in their own stories and face new enemies before returning to take down the threat posed by the followers of the Dark One. In the second season, we follow the events as a group of powerful sorceresses discovers that the dragon, a legendary being who was destined to either destroy or save the world, has come back to life. They work to protect him from the Dark One and other potential threats while dealing with the dragon's increasing power and insanity. The first season tells the story of a sorcerer named Moraine, who leads a group of young people and thinks one of them is the dragon reborn. Also, in the first season, these 5 individuals are thrown into a magical and prophetic realm where wizards try to protect them from evil forces and identify the dragon resurfacing. I think that Season 2 was far better than Season 1 after they discovered the truth personally. And based on how the second season concluded, the third season is probably going to be even crazier. Number 8. Shadow and Bone. It's a fantasy drama series based on Leigh Bardugo's writings. It is one of the best fantasy series to come out in recent years, and it truly deserves a lot more attention than it has gotten. On March 16, 2023, the second season premiered, and it was equally as amazing as the first. The story takes place in a world where a dark fold full of horrific creatures split the country apart and spurred a populist rebellion. The story revolves around Elena Starkov, a mapmaker assigned to the country's first army, whose task was to destroy the fold. Despite their best efforts, they fail until Alina discovers she is a geisha, a unique person with extraordinary abilities, and realizes she has what it takes to destroy the fold and restore the country. However, as she begins to learn how to use her powers, things get complicated for her, and the forces of darkness try to stop her. The second season is full of surprises, as Alina is forced to flee the country in order to escape the Darkling in an effort to battle the Darkling and destroy the Shadow Fold in an epic battle that concluded the second season. It is a fantasy series that fans absolutely must see because there are a lot of unsolved questions and the possibility of a third season. Number 7. MAYFAIR Witches. Michelle Ashford and Esther Spalding are the creators of this supernatural fantasy thriller series, which is based on Anne Rice's book series, The Lives of the MAYFAIR Witches. If you've read the book, you'll be quite disappointed in the show because it falls well short of the book's standards. On the other hand, you might enjoy this if you've never heard of it and are just searching for a magical adventure. The main story revolves around Rowan Fielding, who discovers that she has ancestors who were members of the eminent and mysterious MAYFAIR witch dynasty. Uncovering the mysteries of her family's past, Rowan gets involved in a long-standing struggle and must learn how to use her newfound powers to battle a terrible entity that has been hurting the members of her family. This show seems to fall short in every aspect, and its main fault is that it gives less attention to the deep and complex characterization and more focus on the mystery surrounding Rowan's family drama. Despite this, the show's magical elements and gripping plot make it entertaining for the general audience. Number 6. Reborn. Rich Jung Dae-yoon is the director of this fantasy drama series. Although the storyline departs from the typical fantasy tropes of kingdoms, monsters, and battles, it still has a distinct fantasy quality that makes it enjoyable to watch. The show tells the story of Yoon Hyun-woo, a loyal employee of Chaebol Soon-young, who was murdered by a Soon-young family member in order to hide a criminal scheme. However, when he awakens in 1987, he discovers that he has been raised from the dead and has taken on the physical form of Jin Do-jun, the young grandchild of the Soon-young family. He takes advantage of this situation and intends to resentfully take over the Soon-young group, but will he be successful? Although it was masterfully written and directed, it is still a complicated drama about the rich and the poor, and the inclusion of rebirth fantasy elements makes the plot more difficult to follow. But the show does an excellent job of combining crime, family dynamics, and business politics to create a compelling plot with lots of unexpected turns. Number 5. American-born Chinese. Kelvin Yu is the creator of this fantasy action comedy series. The story centers on Jin Wang, a young man who struggles to balance his life at home and in school. However, Jin's routine existence took a dramatic turn when he met Wei Chen, a new plating partner who turned out to be connected to the Monkey King, an old figure in Chinese mythology, and unintentionally entered a battle with mythological gods. Wei Chen is looking for a regular teenager who can assist him in stopping a rebellion against heaven. The show's plot deftly switches between the present and the 16th century, and it has a ton of action scenes that are fantastic until they get boring. However, the show is entertaining and worth seeing because it has a lot of exciting aspects, like mythology and adventure. The show also addresses a variety of topics, such as relationships between parents and the challenges that young boys encounter on a regular basis. Its seamless blending of teen and fantasy genres makes it interesting to watch. Number 4. One Piece. It is a fantasy adventure series based on Eiichiro Oda's manga series of the same name. This one is the most enjoyable and best show of 2023. No matter how familiar you are with anime, you can still enjoy the series because the storyline is designed so that even viewers who are unfamiliar with the manga will find it engaging. The show follows the adventures of the crew of Straw Hat Pirates as they venture into dangerous seas in search of the legendary One Piece, a treasure that is said to have the power to make their captain, Monkey D. Luffy, the future Pirate King. However, their mission becomes more difficult when they learn that they are not the only crew searching for the enigmatic One Piece, and to make matters more difficult, the Marines are searching for their ship. Some characters and other pirates will have significant roles in future episodes, even if the plot provides a general overview of the One Piece universe. The first season chronicles events while Luffy searches for new crew members. The One Piece universe is so wide that it is difficult to cover every comic chapter, but the show did a great job building its basic plot, which is full of humor, action drama, and adventure. Moreover, the second season has been confirmed, so now is the perfect moment to watch this show if you haven't already. Number 3. Good Omens. It is a fantasy comedy series based on the 1990 novel of the same name by Terry Pratchett. The second season of the show debuted on July 28, 2023, and it has 2 seasons total. I won't reveal anything here when I talk about the main concept, so you may choose whether or not to watch it. The story follows Angel Aziraphale and Demon Crowley, who represent heaven and hell on Earth. However, their peaceful existence soon turned into a nightmare when they learned of an impending celestial battle that might kill the Earth. The first season revolves around their joint efforts to save the Earth from ending, while the second season is focused on Archangel Gabriel's unexpected appearance at Aziraphale's bookstore. Meanwhile, Aziraphale and Crowley are shocked and make an effort to discover what happened to Gabriel, while also keeping him hidden from celestial creatures who are frantically trying to find him. Your curiosity will be increased by the captivating story, thrilling fantasy adventures, and excellent humor in every episode of both seasons. Number 2. Sweet Tooth. It is a fantasy drama series based on Jeff Lemire's comic book series. The show is set in a future in which the majority of humans on Earth died from an infectious epidemic, leaving many survivors affected by diseases that are still unknown. The appearance of hybrid kids with animal features coincides with this sequence of events. The story centers on Gus, a hybrid child, who after his father dies embarks on a journey to find his mother. During this journey, he gets captured by General Abbott, who instructs a scared scientist to begin testing the hybrid children in an attempt to find a treatment for the disease. Overall, the second season features a strong cast of characters and is darker than the first season. A unique blend of thought-provoking topics and spectacular visuals, the series appeals to comic book fans as well as new viewers. Number 1. Creature. Kagan Ermac is the director of this fantasy horror mystery series, which is based on Mary Shelley's well-known novel Frankenstein, that explores themes of man versus nature, life, and death. The story centers on Zia, a young medical student with dreams of becoming a great doctor and discovering treatments for viral diseases. As with other Frankenstein stories, the series examines the primary themes of death and the afterlife. The true plot begins when Zia meets Ison, a brilliant but insane physician, but their connection quickly uncovers mysteries about rebirth that have disastrous consequences. The show has 8 episodes that are far from flawless, but it accomplishes a lot, has good production value, and has a story that combines a traditional plot with strong emotion and a fresh perspective. However, it is only recommended for fans of gothic horror and fantasy, and if you are familiar with the Frankenstein story, Creature won't be a surprise to you. That is all for today. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel to view future videos about suggested movies and television shows.